Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. We're your hosts. I'm Sybil Amuti.
And I'm Brandis Daniel.
What's up, Great Girlfriends?
Hey, Great Girlfriends.
We hope you're having a beautiful summer.
Yes.
Like, seriously.
We're loving it.
It is so amazing. So much great stuff's been happening. We kicked off our summer with What Women Want 17.
Yes.
We bounced on over to Essence Festival. Yes. And now we get to just enjoy beach days.
Absolutely.
And, oh my gosh.
And
short work weeks
nights.
And backyard nights. And
deck days.
Deck days. And I mean, just all kind of really fun summery drinks and mocktails and Slurpees and
yes.
all the stuff that makes summer amazing.
I'm so excited. I've made it through all this summer with no carbs except the weekends.
Go girl. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I did pick up for your carbs. So I lost my face in New Orleans in a plate of gumbo. I just couldn't resist. I love the food in New Orleans.
Yes, it's so delicious.
Oh my gosh. So I have to work outside so I can sweat off all the extra stuff that I
It was so hard for me to resist the beignets, but I did.
I know. And we absolutely love all of the pictures that you guys are tagging, the Great Girlfriends. It helps us to feel like we're traveling around the world on all of the different trips that you're taking. So thank you for keeping us up to speed on everything.
Absolutely.
So Brandis is near collapse right now. I have worn her down to the bone, y'all. We have had a meeting day, a recording day. I made her go with me to pick up my kids. She had to get Slurpees for the boys at 7-Eleven. It's a play date happening in the other room. Dylan is having a meltdown. She's missing her teacher. Kwaku's throat is sore. You will not believe where we're recording right now.
You won't believe it.
You won't believe it. I can say that I have Brandis Daniel in bed. Psych on your life. Brandis and I are recording in my bedroom, looking out at our outdoor office that the kids tried to take over.
Right.
And so we had to find a quiet space in the house. So we're in the bed together.
Yes, we are.
In the strangest way, recording a podcast. Because when you're a podcaster, that's what you do.
Do what you gotta do.
You find a corner. We've been in the closet.
Yes, we have.
We've been in all kind of random rooms.
We have.
Anything to make sure your sound is right and the experience is amazing.
Yes.
So we're not keeping you long this week because we want to get back outside and play and hang out with that Red Robin over there.
Oh, yeah.
But we wanted to talk to you this week about living your legacy. So I work as a brand strategist, as most of you know, and I've been doing this work for, like 15 years now.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. Does that mean I'm a veteran?
That means you're a veteran.
I'm a veteran. That's kind of dope. I'm a veteran.
Yes.
So I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, so I've been working in brand strategy for a number of years, and a lot of time that I've worked in strategy has been with personal brands, high-profile personal brands. And a lot of times when I'm working with a brand or a person, we're looking at the short term of a brand plan, and we're looking at the long term. And so I like to look at it from a personal development perspective, because so many times, Brandis, when we meet with entrepreneurs or we meet with people who have a passion project that they're just, they're bursting at the seams with, they want to get this project out and they're just thinking about, I just need to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But someone like me, when I'm hired or when I come in as a strategist, my plan or my goal and intention is to look at all of the things that need to take place before,
right,
during, and after to ensure longevity.
Yes.
And I look at in the same way we look at life. What are the things that we need to do that we should have done yesterday, or maybe we didn't do, that we can do today, that we can prepare for tomorrow?
Right.
How do we live our legacy? How do we ensure that we are actually meeting the fulfillment of everything we desire to accomplish, or the intention of our heart, that people can really see it and feel it. It's expressed outwardly. How do we do that every day? How do we make sure that we're building out a reputation that our families can stand on.
Absolutely.
Because one day we won't be here.
Right.
And Sky, Sam, and Dylan will be walking around, and hopefully they'll be able to say, oh, you may have heard of my parents for blah, 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 blah. People go, oh my gosh, that was your mom. That was your dad.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, I love them. Or, oh my goodness, that was your mama?
Right.
Oof. Just depending on how you live your life. And so I think sometimes when we're in the thick of it, we forget that we're building a legacy.
Yes.
We know that we're trying to make it through the day. Most people wait until 5 o'clock so they can go out and live some more. Or we're hoping for Friday. As soon as the weekend hits, we're ready. But we forget that Monday through Fridays, every single week of the year, add up to this life legacy that we live. And all of the people that we look at and we may herald for the amazing work that they've done over the course of their life, set intention around every day.
Absolutely.
Even if it was an intentional no agenda day, it was an intentional day.
Right.
That they set their minds to build. Because when you're building on something, if you lay brick by brick, eventually you build a house, right?
Absolutely.
Or you build a building. But you have to start with each of those pieces. So there are 5 questions that I use sometimes when I'm working with a personal brand, or if I'm working with a personal development client around coaching and trying to set direction around their legacy plan. A lot of times financial planners will have a set of questions that they like to ask because they want to understand what your money needs to look like, when you're 85 and fine, like I'm going to be. Right. Or as Brandis talked about in the cliff jump, at that 100-year mark, what will be said about you and what will be said about your finances. But when I look at it from a purpose perspective, and what is it going to take from a purpose perspective that will allow your legacy to be revealed while you're here on earth.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to wait until you're dead and gone. We can actually live it out and people experience it, and you get to know that what you're doing is taking effect.
Absolutely.
Right? All right. Question number 1. What is it that I desire to be known for?
That's good.
What do I want to be known for? What is the reputation that I want established? What is it about my character that I want to be revealed to other people each day?
Yeah, that's good.
What is it?
Yeah.
Do I know what it is? Am I intentional about it?
Yeah, that's good.
Or am I just kind of walking around giving people whatever leftovers I have because I'm so tired? And this job gets on my nerves, and these kids drive me up a wall, and their husband make me mad, and whatever, and the friends, and I'm so annoyed, and I got to go by my mom's house. I'm taxed.
Right.
Am I just giving people fumes, or am I truly setting a reputation by being intentional? And I can remember 2012, it was the year. And I always talk to you about these Tony moments I had, but I remember when I realized that I didn't want to be known for branding. I was like, I don't want to be known for branding because one day I'm going to stop branding, and then I don't want to feel like I don't have anything to stand up, to represent me.
Right.
So I decided, and I realized I want to spread love and light. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to intentionally be known as someone who gifted other people with love and light every single day.
I love that.
I don't always get it right, but a good, greater percentage of the time, that's the reputation that I'm going after. And there's so many times that I could shelf that because I obviously don't always feel it.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that I don't have the awareness and the intention that that's something that means something to me.
Yes.
Some women have decided, I want to be a woman of influence. I want other women to know strength. I want other women to know joy. I want them to know that they could be great athletes. I want, my kids to know that I was a great chef, or whatever it is, that reputation it is that you desire. It could, it could be large or small.
Yes.
But how will it be? What do you want to be known for?
Absolutely. You
got to know that and ask yourself that question. Because once you start asking that question, you can be intentional about how you introduce yourself to people.
Absolutely.
How you do that. So number 2, what is your strongest area of thought leadership?
That's good.
Like, for real, what are you super amazingly smart at?
Right. And that's so different for everyone.
It's so different for everyone. Yeah. And when we talked about this at What Women Want 17, we talked about how, some of the most creative people are tucked away in HR.
Yes.
And, sometimes some of the more practical, super organized people are tucked away in the marketing department.
Yes.
And so many of us got out of college and we got that great piece of paper, and then we went and applied. And somebody gave us an offer for something that they had a fit for.
Yes.
And we took it.
Yes.
And now we're 15 years in and we look up, we're like, how in the world did I end up
here? Which is not bad if you take it with a plan to shift.
Right.
Yes.
But how did I end up here?
Yes.
And why do people always ask me about blah, blah, blah? I'm so tired of people asking me this question.
Yes.
Well, you've shown expertise in this area.
Right.
And people want to know more about that, whatever that thing is from you.
It's so true.
And I also think that if we expect promotion, or if we expect to be able to position ourselves effectively, if we expect for people to be able to want to take value from us in any way, we have to know where we're smart. We have to know, when I walk in a room as a veteran executive brand strategist, I can brand your dog and I can brand your CEO.
Yes.
I know the capacity is within me. I understand what I do, how I do it, and where I can add value.
Right.
If I'm not aware of my areas of thought leadership, I don't know where I add value.
Yes.
So people can just drag me, and I'll just go wherever I feel accepted, instead of positioning myself in the place where I am most needed.
So true.
And it's very, very important, girlfriends, that you understand you have an area of thought leadership. Each one of us has an area of expertise, maybe many different areas where we are super strong, but it's important to know that I can articulate in a certain area. I am well versed. I can blog about it. I could do a keynote about it. I can do a fireside chat.
Absolutely.
I can volunteer at the PTA and talk about it. I'm capable in that area. Number 3, how will your influence be used to positively shape our world? We oftentimes forget that it's not about us.
It's not about us.
And that we are a part of God's great plan for this earth.
Yes.
It's so important that we understand that we're each influencers.
Absolutely.
Not just the people who have 5,000 or more followers on social, or not just the people who are getting called to speak on panels, or have really big YouTube followers or subscription base. Each one of us, if I go out today and I make a great purchase and I love it, I can create influence with one group text and a picture.
Sure can. Yeah.
I can get all my girlfriends out purchasing. Brandis can call to action. Whatever. Each one of us has the capacity to call to action, to influence a group, or to shift the way that our lives or our families are sitting here on this earth. For example, recycling.
Absolutely.
Every one of us has to participate one way or another. Giving charitably.
Yes.
Volunteering, donating, serving our calling.
Yep.
Saying yes to God's plan for our life, being a fashion pioneer, a change agent. But we have to understand that we're vessels. And the moment that we surrender ourselves to the idea that we're vessels, we become more open to the way that we can participate with God. It's almost like, okay, I recognize it's like this, that I get to benefit from living this life. However, I'm here to help maneuver things the way God needs it done.
Absolutely.
So, God, how do you want to use me to help shape this world that we all live in?
Yes.
And it's not enough for us to depend on the great leaders. It's not enough for us to call on the president and complain about the president.
Because they're just like you.
They're just like you.
Absolutely.
We're all doing this together. So it's so important to know how your influence will be used to positively shape the world. Number 4, what are some of the decisions that you need to make today, spiritually, physically, and financially, to get what you want out of life? That's a huge question.
That's a huge question.
But it's an important question.
And a great responsibility.
It's a great responsibility. And I'm going to tell you why. Because sometimes we'll get all these answers, we'll write them in our journal, and then we shut the journal. We don't make any decisions. We have the knowing.
Yes.
We've done the introspective. We've taken an inward glance.
Yes.
We have a full understanding. We've had a conversation with God.
Absolutely.
And then we shut it.
Absolutely.
We let fear take over.
We do.
Or we decide that it's too magnanimous for us to take on. It's too big.
We absolutely
So
do.
I can't make any decision. Or we feel like, well, I'm inferior in certain ways, so I don't want to make an imperfect decision. And as women, we like for our decisions to be perfect.
Yes. Perfect. And signed off on.
Then we got to call the board.
3, 4, 5,
right?
6, 7 people.
We call the board and we're like, girlfriend number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Okay. And,
Mama, sister.
Yeah. And you got all these yeses, but you're petitioning all these other people on a decision that could be so, it's so between you and God. It has nothing to do with anyone else.
Yep.
And I didn't say mental in that list. I specifically said spiritually, physically, and financially, because I know that once you create the spiritual agreement, once you agree with your gut, and you say yes to your instinctive ability to make a decision, the war is done. Absolutely. It's about you actually physically taking action.
Yes.
And financially committing to it.
Yes.
Because sometimes it will take sacrifice.
Absolutely.
But if we don't make the decisions, we will never get any of the benefits that come from having pursued our legacy.
You're so right.
And like you said, we don't want to be that person that's 100 living with regrets.
No. That's the worst.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yes.
I never want to hear myself talking about what I coulda, shoulda, woulda done.
And you hear it.
You hear it all the time.
I have people in my life who say, oh, shit, I wish I had moved to D.C. I had the opportunity to move to D.C. I should have just done it. Or, oh my goodness, I had this opportunity, but it was out of town and my dad told me I shouldn't take it, so I didn't take it. And they're in their 60s.
Yeah. And that's a very common story. Even some of the greatest innovators, the best ideas are in the house.
Yes.
And they never make it outside of that idea book.
No. Absolutely.
They never make it outside of that book.
Some inventions we still haven't seen.
How are we going to get the most out of our lives if we don't make decisions?
Yes.
And I think it's important for one specific girlfriend, but many girlfriends listening, to know that it's okay to make an imperfect decision.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
You have to make a choice.
Yes.
And be willing to, if you decide that you don't like your decision, make the adjustments to get yourself on the right direction.
Right.
I love it. Michael Hyatt said it best, and I stand beside the fact that everything is beta. Everything is the first of the first of the first iteration of the first.
Yes, it is.
Which means it can be imperfect.
It can be totally imperfect.
My decisions.
Just put it out there.
Just do it. Make a decision.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be the end of anything. So understand there are some decisions that you need to make today.
Yes.
Right now, like pressing pause on this podcast and saying, all right, X, Y, and Z needs to happen today.
Like,
I got to cut that dude.
Like, I got to cut these carbs.
Like you did.
Like I had to cut the carbs.
And that was that good decision for you.
Yes.
And then, like I said, I got to cut that dude.
Yeah.
He is not my husband. I know it, but I've been dragging because I didn't want to be alone. I got date nights. He cooks good meals, whatever be the case. But he's not my dude. Then cut him. Yes. Or, you know what? I need to make another move to get the best career that I want out of my life. Or it's time for me to sell this house.
Yes.
Or it's time for me to buy the house. Or it's time for me to move to DC.
Yes.
Or I need to call and just tell this financial planner I have 50 cents.
Yes.
To start with.
Absolutely.
What can I do with it?
Absolutely.
But go for the decisions. Don't be afraid of them. And the fifth one is, what am I willing to sacrifice in exchange for the greater good? I think when you recognize that you're working towards something and that you have destinations in mind, it becomes easier for you to sacrifice in exchange for the greater good.
Absolutely.
Because you recognize it's a short-term sacrifice for a long-term reward.
Yes.
So I might be able to sacrifice brunches for the summer of 2017 because I'm investing it towards a trip to Cuba.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know, or I'm putting it towards something for my kids later in life.
Or paying off some debt.
Or putting it towards my passion project.
Yes.
I'm investing in a logo for my brand. I'm, buying a domain, or I'm hiring a contractor to fix something on my house, or whatever it is. We know that some of the best rewards that we experience come when we sacrifice, because we can personally say, I invested. I didn't expect for other people to put more into my legacy than I would dare do myself.
Absolutely.
So I sacrifice. One of my personal sacrifices is sleep. I will sacrifice sleep. I love a good 9 hours, y'all. I could a good 9 hours daily, but I know that I have to shave off a good 90 minutes somewhere in the evening or the morning for me to increase my productivity because of the way my schedule is set up right now. That's not a forever situation for me.
It's a temporary sacrifice.
It's a temporary sacrifice that I recognize is called so that I can push some projects forward in exchange for my greater good.
Yes.
Because my legacy is tied to my productivity and my results.
Absolutely.
And each one of us is the same thing. If we don't look at the ways that we can reward from our sacrifice, we'll see sacrifice as something being taken away.
Absolutely. It's like when the episode we did with Tiffany the Budgetnista when she said locating your yes.
What's your yes? What's your more?
What's your more?
What's your more?
Yes.
What's your more? This is my legacy. This is your legacy.
Absolutely.
And you get out of it what you put into it.
Yes.
And, we've all been to a homegoing or funeral service, and we've heard, people tell these amazing stories of people that you knew in one way. Then there's the coworker. There's the neighbor. There's the church member. There's all these different people that have the same character base of the person, but just different stories of all the ways that person's legacy was being fulfilled because that person set intention around it.
Absolutely.
And those are the most rewarding experiences because you can say, wow,
they lived a full life.
That person lived a full life.
Yes.
And you walk away from those experiences saying, I gotta go out, do more, and be more.
Yes.
Or have you ever been in the presence of someone that you just think is great?
Yes.
And you're just you're just leaning in, and you're hanging on to every word and every breath because you've seen how their purpose has been revealed in different ways.
Yes.
And you've reaped the benefit of it.
Yes.
And you leave that person feeling inspired to do and be more.
Absolutely.
That person is living their legacy.
Absolutely.
Isn't that awesome?
It's amazing.
I can think about meetings. I'll just give you guys a backdrop to meetings that Brandon and I had. We had a meeting with 3 amazing powerhouse women. Jennifer.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I don't want to give her full name.
Okay.
Jennifer Rudolph Walsh.
Yes.
What a gem of a woman.
That was such a gem.
Sherry Salata.
Experience.
Oh,
yes.
Dreamers. Nancy Holla.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. We've had meetings with these women, and when we walk away,
we feel like we gotta go fly somewhere.
What are we doing on ground? We have to go fly and change this world.
We just gotta, first of all, we just go sit on a bench.
We go sit on a bench for a second because we're just like, wow.
What just happened?
They
just took us somewhere.
Yes. Landed us back safely, and then blessed us and said, go forth.
Yes.
And we stare at each other and we're like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's what I want to do to other people.
Absolutely.
And that's what each one of us should be intentional. When a person gets within a certain realm of you, they should experience you.
Absolutely.
And be drawn in and desire to know more about the way that you live your purpose.
Absolutely. That's so true.
Shout out to Jen, Nancy, and Sherry.
Yes, our great girlfriends.
Our great girlfriends. But, and there's so many more. There's so many more. And it's just like you drink water from the well when you have that experience.
Absolutely.
But we're each called to be the well.
We're all called to be the well.
Yes.
Yes.
Live your legacy. Take your wisdom. Give it to the next generation.
Absolutely.
Give it to your little cousins. Give it to people at work. Don't be afraid to be the one who knows what she's talking about, has the authority and the confidence to do it, and the discipline to see it through.
Absolutely. Oof, you just said a word. Discipline to see it through.
The discipline. The discipline
that
to see it through.
Sybil, that's the piece.
The discipline to see it through.
That is the piece.
That's how you live your legacy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's the piece. Oh, wow. This was amazing. Sybil, amazing. Those of you who were at the What Women Want conference got a snippet of that.
No, we had our little 15 minutes and we were just dashing out.
And if you want more, you can email Sybil.
Yeah, don't call.
Email. I said don't call. If you want more and on how this pertains to you personally, no, serious. Like you can shoot an email to thegreatgirlfriends@gmail.com and ask Sybil, for a coaching session. And I'm sure that she'll be happy to work with you. I don't know. You still work with personal brands?
You know. Send your email. Send your email.
If you have an exciting project, I'm sure she would love to work with
project.
you. Yeah. If it's a purpose-driven project, I'm sure she'd be more than happy to
Brandis
work with
knows.
you. Absolutely. Well, this was a wrap. Thank you. Well, we just want to thank our hubbies. Thank you, Rich Daniel.
Yes. Thank you, Kwaku.
And to our little babies, Miss Sky Daniel.
Yes, Sam and Dilly, I love you, babies.
Yeah, and to all of our family and our great girlfriends and all the people who are, cooking out for us this summer. And
that's right.
Sending us cupcakes. Hint, hint, hint. Not to me,
I was going to say, wait a minute, you can't have your cupcakes.
Other weekends I can have.
Oh, okay, right. Okay.
But thank you guys so much. We're headed towards our 200th episode.
Oh my God. I know we have a television producer listening who wants to put us on screen. I know it's happening. You could call.
You could call.
You could call.
Absolutely. So thank you guys all for trusting us, your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter. You can check us out on our social. Please go to our Instagram.
The Great Girlfriends.
On Twitter.
_Great GFS.
On Facebook.
The Great Girlfriends.
You can check us out every Wednesday on iTunes, Blueberry, Stitcher, Podcast Republic. Maybe soon we'll have our own app.
Yay!
So we'll keep you guys posted on that.
Yes. Make sure you post your questions online. You share with your friends.
Keep listening living. And keep being. Can you guys believe this? Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend.
I'm Sybil.
I'm Brandis.
We're signing off.
Bye, guys. You're nuts, Sybil.
Oh, my God.